So I'm back with my second vlog to talk more about the trip, more particularly my fears for the trip. I actually haven't thought a lot about the fears or some of the things that I'm afraid of for the trip, which is kind of ironic because, well, at least for me, I usually tend to think more about like what could go wrong about something rather than like all the things that could go right or all the things that I'm excited for. So I definitely have a lot more of things that I'm excited for and that outweighing like the fears. But some of the general fears that I have about going to Ghana this summer is definitely the plane ride. This is going to be my first like 15 to 20 hour flight, however long it takes. So I'm really just nervous about like being in a plane for that long. I think that I just feel like it's just I'm gonna always just be wanting to be there, and so I hope it doesn't like tire me out to the point where I just once I get off, like I just want to go back home or whatever. Because I feel like that could, maybe possibly put a negative type of touch on like what I'm looking forward to, whatever. But besides that, some of the things I'm kind of just cautious about because I know we were learning about was the water aspect, and just to think like I never really, which it makes a lot of sense to since we're not from there in that area that we should be consuming bottled water only. So I'm just kind of like afraid of like or just thinking about like the food, like is like the food being made with the water there, like is that going to have an effect on my body? Is that going to make me sick? Taking a shower, like do I need to take a shower with bottled water? So I think the water thing is the biggest part to me because I drink a lot of water, and having to always think like, okay, I need to get a bottle of water is a little bit tedious, I think, but I do understand the importance of having that bottled water or drinking out of bottled water, but I'm just kind of like nervous that maybe one night or one day like I'll just totally forget and like drink out of the faucet there or something and then get sick. But besides those things, I think something a little bit deeper that I was thinking about was the people there. I'm more so concerned about them feeling like that I don't belong or feeling like I'm coming to intrude in a way that's that maybe they may be used to because of colonization and the effects of that. So I really hope that, I've heard thus far that the people of Ghana are extremely welcoming, especially to us coming from America. But I'm just a little bit afraid that maybe I'll run into some people that really don't want me or our group to be there. So that's one thing. But I think overall, probably my biggest fear is probably kind of, I guess, seeing the effects of colonization. So, when I go to Ghana, I really want to see like nothing but Black people, nothing but African culture and customs. And I'm afraid, my biggest fear is just kind of seeing and kind of facing the fact that colonization did happen and seeing the ramifications of that. So, whether that's loss of language, whether or not, there's more of English spoken or another language spoken there that's not of their own, I'm afraid of seeing. And like I mentioned, westernized customs, whether it be through fashion, the things they watch on TV. I haven't really done enough research to know like how or what Ghana is like now versus when it was before colonization. So I'll definitely be doing a lot more research on that. But I think the biggest fear that I have is seeing the effects of the colonization and everything like that. Because I think a lot of times, or I think for me at least, going on this trip, I'm thinking of it as like a homecoming where, if I really wanted to get up today and leave where I'm living here in America and go to another place, like I could call Africa my home. And it's not to say that you can't, but I think it's just being real and also understanding that, the idea that that we might have of Africa here in America may not meet our expectations like we assumed. So I'm kind of afraid that maybe my expectations will not be met. So other than that, like I said, I'm still excited for this trip. And I'm going to be doing a lot more research and a lot more like reflection on everything that's there and everything that's to come. So yeah, thank you for listening to my vlogs, and I'll see you all in May.